This video is sponsored by book burnout because that is the only thing that explains how I feel about picking out my TBR right now. Hello, my lovely friends, it's Margaret, and it's time to nerd out about books. I'm in this weird space this month, like leading into March and going into March. I've just been in this weird space where, like, I want to keep reading. I'm enjoying what I'm reading and I want to read more. Usually I have like this whole list of books that I'm like, you know what, I want to read this and I want to read this, like lined up, that I'm just super excited and champing at the bit to get to. And this month I'm just like, there really aren't any specific books. Well, there's one specific series and we'll talk about that in a minute because I might have gone a little hog wild. But there aren't any specific books that I'm like, I need to read this right now. And usually that's me. I don't know what is going on right now. Please ignore the fact that there is tea in the background. I forgot to take it down from my writing video, and also I'm not done with it, so I'm an American, okay? We ice our tea. So anyways, I need my bullet journal for this. I guess we will start with what I am currently reading, and so I'm in the middle of two books because I always have a physical book and an audiobook. My physical book is Clockwork Prince, which is supposed to be finished last month. I haven't even done my wrap-up for last month. I read 19 books last month. I'm kind of dreading it. I didn't read 19 books. I read 17 books last month. I need to finish this because I'm about halfway through and I was supposed to read this in February, and apparently I'm going to perpetually be half a book behind in my Shadowhunters reread, which does not bode well, okay, to whether or not it will be finished, and also whether or not I will be able to read Chain of Gold on time, because holy crap, reading this has made me really, like, just desperately need Chain of Gold. Also, I would like to point out that in a conversation, Magnus mentions the title. He says that immortals are bound by a chain of gold, and I just kind of lost my crap. I am loving this just as much as I did the first time. I absolutely adore it. I just, like, knowing how it ends, but at the same time, you can kind of see that it was still going to end the way it was going to end, regardless of what happened. That's all I will say about it. And then my audiobook at the moment is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. This is about James Watson and Charlotte Holmes, and they are the descendants of obviously the iconic Watson and Holmes from the Sherlock Holmes stories. I don't know what they're actually officially called, but basically she has been raised her entire life to be a detective genius, and he's kind of been raised a little bit away from that. They don't really hit it off to the beginning. He kind of makes a fool of himself at the beginning, and then someone gets murdered, and they are the prime suspects. So they have to solve this murder so they don't end up going to jail. Jamie Watson is like the best soft boy with a little bit of darkness in him. I love me some soft boys, and then you get a soft boy who has a dark side on occasion. I'm just like, ooh, well, that's interesting. Charlotte is a trip and a half. I may end up reading this entire series this month. Not this week, this month. So from there, I guess I will talk about the audiobooks that I will be reading. Now, I'm going to probably be reading a lot more audiobooks this month because they've cut out YouTube at my work. I can't, like, watch it on the computer while I'm working. Still allowed to listen to my audiobooks and my music, so I will be going through a lot more audiobooks. I've been going through about 2 a week at this point. 2 of them I do not have because they are through my library app, and they literally just got checked out to me an hour ago. But they are The Everlasting Rose by Danielle Clayton. This is the sequel to The Bells, and I can't really get into what this is about. In the first book, The Bells, we are introduced to this world of Orleans, and in this world, people are born gris. And gris are completely gray. They don't have any color. Their hair is like straw. Like, they're ugly. And then there are these people called the Bells, and there's a little bit of, like, mystery onto how the bells get born and how they come into being, but bells are able to give life and color to people, and they're able to change the way their body looks. It was just such an interesting exploration of beauty and what is beauty and how do beauty standards affect us, and it was a lot of great commentary on that, and they left us with some unanswered questions and some things that were going on, and there are just so many things that have yet to be resolved, and so I'm very happy that I have The Everlasting Rose, and that's probably going to be the next audiobook that I pick up. And then the other audiobook that I just got from my library is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Both of these are actually in my most anticipated releases of 2019, if you've seen that video, but On the Come Up is about Bree, and her family is going through some financial struggles, and so something happens at school. She experiences some sort of discrimination because she is black. I'm not entirely sure what it was because I don't remember, but she basically goes home and her dad was a rapper and she wants to be a rapper, and so she writes a song and this song goes viral. So it's about what it's like to go viral, and it's about her family and them trying to figure these things out. And so I'm very interested. I've heard some interesting reviews on it, but I still think I'm gonna love it as much as I loved The Hate You Give, which was Angie Thomas's debut novel, and I absolutely adored it. Other audiobooks that I'm planning on hitting, because I've got this thing where I really like having the physical copy of the book while I'm listening to it so I can accurately figure out what page I'm on. And I'm going to finally get to Two Dark Reigns by Kendara Blake because I need to. I just need to. I need to get, I think the third book is, or fourth book is, if it's not out, it is coming out very soon, and I just need to finish the dang series. I need to know what happens, okay? I need to know how this triplet queen fight to the death thing started, because I have theories, and those theories make me feel like maybe somebody was trying to control these magical girls and they didn't like the fact, like they wanted to keep them from working together and overthrowing them. I don't know. Who knows? Do I know? I don't know. I have theories though. They're raised separately and they have to fight to the death using their different magical powers. You've got, they each are supposed to have one of 3 magical powers. They can be an elemental, they can be a poisoner, and they can be a naturalist. I don't remember what it was, but basically like you're connected with animals. And so things aren't quite the way they're supposed to be in the first book, and just a lot of stuff goes down, and I'm very intrigued. But then stuff happened at the end of the second book that kind of, I don't like it when you hurt some of my ships. And I mean, like, I guess the ship deserved to be torn apart, but at the same time, I wasn't happy with the way it ended because it was just stupid. It was stupid. I hate it when people die for stupid reasons, like preventable stuff. I understand in some of these fantasy worlds, like, that kind of stuff can kill you, but at the same time, why? This is going to be an interesting video for y'all to watch. I also want to finally finish the Darkest Minds series, so I have In the Afterlight by Alexander Bracken. I want to listen to this on audiobook because I listened to the first 2 on audiobook. Quick summary of the Darkest Minds, since I can't tell you what In the Afterlight is about. I actually don't really remember that much of the end of Never Fade at this point, but I'm sure I will remember it quickly. But the Darkest Minds is in the future. It's a dystopian story where the children, all of the kids under a certain age, got sick, and many of them died, but the ones that survived have ended up with superpowers. So our main character, I won't tell you what her actual color is, because they're divided into 5 colors depending on what your power is. The first book, she is in a concentration camp, basically, that they have set up for all of the children in the United States because they are afraid of them. And so she escapes that, and she runs into some other kids that are like her. And so basically they're running from the government and stuff like that, and they're trying to, in the second book, I think they're trying to overthrow the government, as you do in dystopians, and so I just want to see how things wrap up. And the final book that I want to listen to is Sanctuary by Karen Licks. I don't even remember what this is. It's about a space station that is a prison, and there's a revolt, and the main character gets kidnapped, and then she discovers that there's something else going on, and I don't remember. I just know I got it in a LitJoy crate box. It sounded interesting. I'm trying to read more sci-fi, so this is sci-fi. It is in space. I'm probably going to be very anxious reading this book, as the space station probably is going to fail. Anyways, it'll be fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. One of the ones that I know I'm going to read is The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi. This was also on my most anticipated books of 2019, so I mean, we're knocking out quite a few of my most anticipated reads. I would also like to read King of Scars this month, but I don't know if I'm going to get it from the library. And at the moment, I don't have the money to buy it. It's a heist story set in 19th century Paris. From what I understand, there's a romance with some, like an old romance with some backstory and stuff that's going on between the 2 of them, and they're not together, but they want to be together, and ooh, Margaret is intrigued. I also know that I'm going to try and continue my Shadowhunters read-along, so I need to read Clockwork Princess this month by Cassandra Clare. This is the 3rd book in the Infernal Devices series. If you don't know what the Shadowhunters are, I'm too tired to explain them to you. This is about Tessa, and she discovers in the first book that she has a magical ability to change shape. And that's in the first, like, 2 chapters. I'm not spoiling anything. She has immigrated from New York City to London in the Victorian era, and she's gone to join her brother, only when she gets to London, her brother is nowhere to be seen. She gets kidnapped by a pair of warlock sisters, and then she gets rescued by a Shadowhunter boy. And everything goes downhill from there in the most glorious way. From there, I also need to read a memory called Empire by Arkady Martine. I don't remember what this is about. It's not really clear from the back of the book. because it's an arc, so there's not all that much information here. But it is a sci-fi, it sounds very interesting, and I won it in a contest, so I want to read it, and it comes out soon, so I'm going to read it. I also got an arc of The Seamstress by Allison Pittman. This, I got it like way after the release date, but I'm still going to try and read it or see if I can't get my hands on a finished copy from the library or something, because I would prefer to read the finished copy if the finished copy is available. The camera died on us halfway through this video, so if there's any angle changes, I don't remember. I don't remember where we left off, somewhere in the middle of talking about this book. It's about something that happens during the French Revolution. Marie Antoinette is involved, and she gets drawn into the French court at the worst possible time to be involved in the French court. That's all I know. Oh, and she sews things. She's a seamstress. I do have a couple of other arcs that I'm going to get to. I'm not entirely sure what all of them are about. Actually, this is bad of me. I have The Bird King on ebook that I need to read, which is by G. Willow Wilson, and it is out March 12th. And then I have, what's the other one? There's another one. And then I have To Best the Boys by Mary Weber. It is also one of my most anticipated reads of 2019. It's about a girl who has to disguise herself as a boy to be in a science contest so that she can win money and study this disease that is plaguing her country and save her mother. That's the gist of that book. And then also, not arcs, but I'm going to try and read Treason in Tudor England, Politics and Paranoia by Lacey Baldwin Smith. If you don't know, the project that I am working on is inspired by Tudor history and still has very much the feel of Tudor politics. If you know anything about what happened during Henry VIII's reign and then Elizabeth I's reign, like, just they were so paranoid, and they kind of had reason to be. So I kind of want to I've been wanting to read this to kind of get a little bit more of a idea of what it was like back then, see if there's anything that can like inspire and enhance my world some more. And I also want to finish the Talon series, so I have the final book, Inferno by Julie Kagawa. I would love to listen to this as an audiobook, but my library has yet to pick it up as an audiobook, and Scribd doesn't have it, so I am frustrated. But I'm gonna finish this series because it's good and I've enjoyed it and I like Julie Kagawa. I don't know how many of those books besides The Golden Wolves I'm actually going to get to. Hopefully the two arcs that are coming out this month, those are kind of important. So hopefully I will get to those and read them and be able to review them in like around when they come out. We're just not having a good filming day today. My books fell and knocked my entire tripod over, and we're also in the wrong angle. Hold on. Anyways, so before my battery dies, I want to wrap this up. I have been holding off on this so long because I just wanted to binge through these. I want to read all of Ouran High School Host Club. I read the first 3 volumes in February because I needed to read something at some point, and so I just picked it up. I have to volume 10, and I have up to, there are 18 volumes, so I have the other 8 volumes coming in. I just have really been wanting to get back in this world and these characters, not these two, these two, I love them so much. This is just such a good series. There are some things that I think the humor in this might not, you can tell it was written in the early 2000s. It's not always the most educated humor when it comes to certain things. Ouran High School Host Club is by Hattori Bisco. It is about Haruhi, and she is a scholarship student at this really prestigious academy called Ouran Academy, Ouran High School. I don't know, but basically just about everybody there is rich except for Haruhi, and she accidentally knocks over a very expensive vase. And so in order to be able to pay it off, she has to now work for the host club, which the host club is just basically a group of boys who like to entertain girls, and they throw these like lavish parties and all of this stuff to kind of do a genteel, like it's just so much fun. When they first meet her, because she cut her hair short, they assumed that she was a boy, and she really doesn't care what she dresses like or any of that, and so it doesn't matter to her whether she's wearing boy clothes or girl clothes, and she's still, like, I love it because she's very androgynous, but she's still very comfortable in the fact that she is female, and I like the stuff that it says about gender dynamics, which I think that we have far too, like, they're far too rigid, the way that we have them in this day and age, and how, like, this is what a girl is and this is what a boy is, and Haruhi challenges a lot of that. Some of the boys in the host club challenge a lot of that. Her dad especially challenges a lot of that. I love her dad. Her dad is amazing, and I need to read this one because we left off in a possibly just an interesting place in the last one. But I mean, these guys, they're amazing. I love them so much. They are all just like obsessed with this, basically what they think is a peasant girl to them, and they get so obsessed with like commoner things, and it's just hilarious to see them like, instant coffee, what is that? We need to try it. I love them so much because they accept her even though she is not as rich as they are. Like, she's got a roof over her head and all that. Like, she's not poor, but she's not as rich as they are. But they still just accept her and love her even though she is not as prestige. Like, that's never, like, they feel sorry for her in some instances. Like, if she's like, oh, I wish I could experience this thing that's really expensive, they're like, oh, let us buy this for you. Like, they spoil her, and she deserves to be spoiled, and I love her so much. This is Honey and Mori, who I also love, but not as much as I love Haruhi and Tamaki. I don't know why she's got long hair and a dress on this one. Editing Margaret here, y'all, because filming Margaret was a disaster and a half, and she forgot 2 things. The first thing that she forgot was, hold on, I only have one hand. This guy. We're at the point where we're supposed to be picking things from this jar. Now, I'm only going to pick one thing this time, since I'm already reading Sanctuary, and that's on my physical TBR. But, let's see. Watch it be one of the ones that I'm already planning on getting rid of. Alright, hold on. Alright, what did we pick? We picked... I mean, do I have to? We picked The Second Short Life of Bree Tanner. We're not doing that one. I'm gonna put that one back in and save it for when I do my Twilight read-along. Watch me pull out the Twilight graphic novel. Here's one. Oh, I can see through this. I like this option. This is a good option. Alright, it's the first book, too. Alright, so our option is Tithe by Holly Black. I don't know why I'm putting it over my forehead like that. The second thing that Filming Margaret forgot to mention is that she has a channel survey now, and if y'all would like to click that link that's down in the description box, check down in the description box. It should be down there. If Editing Margaret had all of her crap together. And go let me know what you think of my channel if you have a few minutes. I don't think it'll take all that long. I don't remember how many questions. I kind of lost track. If you want to hop over there and let me know what you think of my channel and ways that, let me know what I'm doing right and let me know things that I can improve on, that would be fantastic. I love you guys. Thank you. Back to Filming Margaret. We are running out of battery and I don't want this to go on too long. I don't want to have to edit too much because that's just annoying. That is my TBR for, well, it's not really a TBR, it's just kind of things I want to read, maybe possibly in March. I don't think I'm going to get as much reading done in March as I did in February because I read 17 books and I don't even know how that happened. I mean, technically I might because manga only takes me one night to read. So I could read 18 books this month and still have time for some novels. We'll see. I'm also trying to write a book or start a plot a book. I'm trying to plot a book. That's what I'm trying to do. This video is a mess. So anyways, those are some books that I want to read and some books that I might read in March. I don't really have a set TBR this month. I'm just going to kind of read what I want, when I want to, if I want to. We'll see. Let me know down in the comments a couple of the books that you're reading. I would love to know or if you have any thoughts on the books that I'm reading. Stick them down there. Let me know. Don't spoil anything though for me. No spoilers. Unless it's the Infernal Devices, in which case you can talk with me about the Infernal Devices all you want. Find me on Twitter. We can tweet back and forth about it. It's fantastic. I love this series. I love it so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. I make videos 2 to 3 times a week about books and writing, and I would love to see your lovely face here on a regular basis. If you want more of me, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Those are both at the word nerd with a 3 in nerd instead of the E. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!